Man, can you believe how fast this offseason's flying by? It feels like just yesterday we were wrapping up another playoff disappointment, and now we're just a few weeks out from training camp. Time moves quick, but if you're a Cowboys fan, some things don't change at all. And that's what makes it all the more frustrating. Because once again, we're staring at an offseason that feels familiar. Almost too familiar. You know that feeling. You've probably had it before. That same old routine where we see other teams making bold moves, pushing all their chips to the center of the table while we sit back and do the bare minimum. Every single year, it's the same cycle. And yeah, sure, they've made a few moves here and there. But let's be real. Did anything truly shake you up this offseason? Did anything scream, this is the year we're going all in? Probably not. And I get it. Some fans are just tired. Tired of getting their hopes up. Tired of believing that this time, Jerry Jones is going to make that power move that changes everything. But here we are again, looking at an offseason that, if we're being honest, feels like it was designed to keep us right in the middle of the pack. Not rebuilding, not truly contending, just existing. Let me ask you something. Does this offseason feel any different to you? Or does it feel like more of the same? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you think. And hey, if you're sick and tired of rinse and repeat off seasons, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Let's see how many fans out there are ready for this team to stop settling. And if you're new here, or you keep coming back and haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. We're pushing for 15,000 subscribers before training camp, and every single one of you makes a difference. Hit that subscribe button and join the Cowboys News TV family, because if things are going to change around here, it's going to take all of us keeping the pressure on. You know, thinking back on it, there was a time when the Dallas Cowboys did build like they actually wanted to win it all. And I'm not talking about some fantasy or nostalgia trip. I'm talking real moves, real intent. Back during the Tony Romo and Bill Parcells era, the Cowboys weren't afraid to get aggressive. They went out and got guys like Drew Bledsoe, Terry Glenn, even took a swing at T.O. Sure, not every move worked. Remember Joey Galloway, Roy Williams? Yeah, some were misses. But they tried. They didn't sit back and play it safe. That 2007 team, it was loaded. I'm talking 13 Pro Bowlers. That squad had fire on both sides of the ball. Young Jason Witten, DeMarcus Ware, Marion Barber running like a wrecking ball. It felt like they were building something with real purpose. There was a culture, a direction, and most importantly, a sense of urgency. You could feel it as a fan. Fast forward to now, and tell me what major aggressive move has defined the Dak Prescott era. Go ahead, I'll wait. Brandon Carr? That was Romo's timeline. Greg Hardy? That didn't last long. The Amari Cooper trade? Yeah, that was a big one. Back in 2018. Since then, we're talking about mid-tier pickups and back-padding over decent trades for fifth-round value. And while I respect getting Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks for cheap, is that really the standard now? It's like we're applauding efficiency while everyone else is going after excellence. That's the difference. And if we're being real, it shows. Because the teams that are winning, teams like the Eagles, they're not waiting around hoping a value deal turns into a championship. They're making it happen. They're building the roster like it's now or never. And that's why I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Which era of Cowboys football felt like they were truly going for it? Was it the Romo years? The early 90s? Or is there still hope for this Dak-era team? If you're with me, if you remember what a hungry Cowboys front office looked like, go ahead and subscribe to Cowboys News TV. We're building something here too, and we want you with us as we push to 15,000 strong. Now let's zoom out for a second and look around the league. Because while the Cowboys have been playing it safe, other franchises are doing the exact opposite. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins for a moment. They saw a window and didn't hesitate. They went out and grabbed Tyreek Hill, made a splash with Jalen Ramsey, and added Bradley Chubb. They've been stacking talent like they're running out of time. And yeah, maybe they haven't reached the mountaintop yet, but you can't say they're not trying to climb it. And then there's the Eagles. Man, as much as it pains me to say it, Philly gets it. They could have stood pat last season and still been one of the top teams in the NFC, but they didn't. They went out and added Saquon Barkley this year, on top of already making huge trades like bringing in A.J. Brown. That's what all-in looks like. That's what building toward a Super Bowl looks like. They're not satisfied with good enough. They want great. They want rings. Meanwhile, what are the Cowboys doing? We're over here hyping up depth signings and patting ourselves on the back for trading for George Pickens on a bargain. And look, I'm not knocking Pickens. He could be a stud. But let's not act like this team has done everything it can to close the gap between playoff team and champion. There's a difference, and we all feel it. It's like the front office is more interested in making smart, safe moves that look good on paper instead of taking calculated risks that could actually push this team over the top. And I'm sorry, but playing it safe isn't how you win in today's NFL. The window is open now. Micah's still on his rookie deal. Ceedee is in his prime. You either go all in, or you watch someone else hoist that trophy. So let me throw it to you. Should the Cowboys be more aggressive like the Dolphins or the Eagles? Vote yes or no in the comments. Let's see how many fans are ready to see Dallas take a real shot. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Join Cowboys News TV and help us hold this team accountable as we push toward 15,000 subscribers. You know what really gets under my skin? It's the way the front office acts like they've already won the offseason, like they've done enough. You'll hear things like, "We got Osa Odigizua locked in," or "We added Kenneth Murray," or "We picked up George Pickens for just $3.5 million." And sure, on paper, those are decent moves. But that's not the point. The point is, they treat these mid-level signings like masterstrokes, while ignoring the fact that other teams are doing so much more. It's like they've convinced themselves they're playing chess, while the rest of the league is playing checkers. But really, it just looks like they're playing it safe, again. And maybe that's the most frustrating part, this contentment with being good enough. The Cowboys have the resources. They've got the fan base. They've got the stadium, the brand, the money. So why does this team always seem to stop just short of greatness? And listen, I'm not saying the offseason has been a total failure. I'll give credit where it's due. Adding Pickens was a smart move, and Gilmore and Cooks last season were solid pickups. But if you're the most valuable franchise in all of sports, shouldn't the bar be higher than just solid? Shouldn't we expect more? It feels like Jerry and the front office are more focused on appearances than results. They'll throw a couple of names out there to keep the fan base hopeful and then step back like the job's done. But you and I both know it isn't. Not if we're serious about winning. Not if we're serious about hoisting that 6th Lombardi. So here's what I want to know. Do you think Jerry Jones is doing just enough to keep fans satisfied? Vote yes or no in the comments. And if you're tired of watching other teams out-hustle us in the off-season, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to Cowboys News TV, and let's keep this conversation going until this team finally stops settling. So now here we are, just a few weeks out from training camp. The countdown's officially on. And yeah, maybe, just maybe, there's still a chance for this team to surprise us. There's talk about getting Micah Parsons' deal done before things kick off in Oxnard. That would be a step in the right direction, no doubt. Locking him in long-term would show some real intent. It would send a message, not just to the fan base, but to the rest of the league, that the Cowboys mean business. But the truth is, we've seen this pattern before. We've gone into camp with cautious optimism, hoping for that one big splash that never really comes. And maybe this year won't be any different. Maybe the Cowboys are content being the most talked about team instead of the most feared. That's the part that stings. We've got the players. We've got the core. We're just missing that edge, the killer instinct from the front office to push this roster past good and into great. Still, hope's a hard thing to kill. And I'll give credit where it's due. Dak Prescott is out there getting his guys together, putting in the work. These players aren't sitting around, they're grinding. And that gives me a sliver of hope that maybe, just maybe, the team can rise above the front office's conservative approach. What about you? What's one thing you hope to see change at training camp this year? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one of them. And hey, if you've been riding with us this whole video, now's your moment. Help us hit our goal of 15,000 subscribers before camp starts. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it with another Cowboys fan who's ready to see this team finally go all in, because no matter what happens, we're gonna be here, breaking it down, holding them accountable, and keeping the fire lit.